Good evening. I'm Hope Violence, and in tonight's edition of my weekly commentary, Violence on the Truth, I want to talk about the horribly unfair treatment our dear, glorious leader, President Emeritus Donald John Jehoshaphat Jesus Christ Trump superstar, is getting from these cheap shot liberal losers in the press. My God, can you even believe these so-called people? I guess this smug bunch of Ivy League educated elitist scumbags think you're pretty stupid. So stupid, in fact, they spoon-feed you their terrible doom and gloom interpretations of completely innocent statements from our president. Here is a perfect example. Just recently, our president sat down for an interview with clearly biased NBC criminal apologist Kristen Welker, in which she tried to make glorious leader sound like he doesn't love freedom.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
Now, if you listen to the lamestream media, and of course that's not us, that's those other guys, they are having an absolute field day blasting our president for responding, I don't know, to upholding the Constitution. But in their usual unfair way, they're taking that out of context. Context that I, unlike them, will provide for you. In context, you can clearly see that he said he didn't know, but he also has brilliant lawyers who do. Isn't that only prudent and rational? Did Kristen Welker consult her lawyers before she asked this dumb question? Maybe she needs to be extraordinarily rendered to a black site where she can do some remedial boning up on how the Constitution actually works. Isn't it wild how dear leader can say just one innocent little thing, and suddenly the liberal media gets their panties all up in a bunch? The next thing you know, they'll have you believing this man wants to eat immigrant babies for breakfast. Which is fine, by the way, if he decided to do that. When it comes to presidential illegal immigrant baby eating, it's important to note that the Constitution is silent. But even if it weren't, it's a moot point. He never said anything about baby eating at all. So disingenuous. So what's it going to be? Are you going to believe me or your lying ears? Don't answer that. I'm here to answer for you. The answer is you'll believe me because I love you, and I'm trying to protect you from these godless transgender intersex monsters. And speaking of monsters, just listen to the disrespectful, hateful tone from ABC News' Terry Moran. Sorry, Moran. Unlike liberals, we don't do cheap shots like that here. From Terry Moran, when he got his turn to spew radical left-wing bile right in the face of our battle-hardened commander-in-chief.
He said he wasn't a member of a gang, and then they looked, and on his knuckles he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
Yeah, that was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop, Terry. You can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you.
What is wrong with you? Be nice! God damn it, you stupid liberal cuck! These so-called journalists with their degrees from fake schools like Columbia and Dartmouth keep trying to turn Trump into some ghoulish, blood-soaked, baby-eating maniac. But they never even stop to ask, whose babies is he eating? Maybe those babies should be eaten. Maybe he's doing us all a solid. Not entirely sure why I keep coming back to baby eating, but my point is, who is this reporter to rake him over the coals about it? What is he, a gang tattoo expert? A social scientist? a pediatrician specializing in baby consumption. Terry Moron is none of those. He got his degree in journalism from Lawrence University. It's really a shame because we all know what real, respectful journalism looks like when it is done right. We don't seem to have any problem with it here at my network. Here's an interview my colleague Brian Johnson Balls conducted recently with Glorious Leader. See if you can spot the difference yourself.
Glorious Leader whose brightness shines like the sun and burns my eyes, and yet I love it so much. Not everyone yet appreciates or is willing to accept how totally great your total greatness totally is. Of those detractors, and you can give me a ballpark number here, doesn't have to be exact, how many of them would you say are murderers?
11,888 murderers, many of them murdered more than one person. Think of that. And they're in our country. Now, we've gotten a lot of them out, and we know who many of them are, and we're on the hunt.
That is a relief, and such an oddly specific number, too. Thank you, Mr. President. Now I will sleep comfortably at night. One more question, if I might. Would you like to take a swipe at your predecessor for just no apparent reason at all? Just talk some shit.
Biden is the worst thing that ever happened to old people.
Oh, that is so true. I just jizzed a little.
That's Journalism 101. Instead of asking some gotcha question about civil rights or whatever dead-end issue only the kooky liberal left even cares about, he asked about something Americans really want to know. Why are all crybaby liberals so wrong? And how is it Biden's fault? Sincere, honest questions. And then he let the president answer. We added that answer for clarity. We ran it by the White House for final approval. And voila, that's the truth. Made social. I'm sorry, these crime-loving, Molly-shooting, gender-swapped cucktards in the rad left press can't seem to get the memo. But viewers, I'm trying. I really am. I don't know how to get it through their thick liberal skulls, but I won't give up. Maybe they should try eating an immigrant baby. Sorry, an illegal immigrant baby. Good luck to them. And more so, good luck to you. I'm Hope Violence, and this has been your weekly dose of violence on the truth.